Hello, everybody. This is episode or podcast number 2 to what do you name it? We named it the Peaks and Valleys, right?
Peaks and Valleys podcast.
Peaks and Valleys podcast. Like, I just started spitballing different ideas to you on text, and I just asked you, what do you think about Peaks and Valleys? And you said,
I said that works good because
cool.
I can't think of anything else.
You probably just didn't give a fuck.
No, I gave a fuck. My brain juices are not thinking of
your brain.
Yeah,
your brain juices aren't all the way up.
But we made it to episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2, buddy. So how do you feel? How do you feel about the first one, even though you didn't listen to it?
Well, I didn't listen to it because I don't listen to my own voice. But I've seen, the animations and other crap that you make for it. That's just A+.
Thank you.
A++.
I worked my ass off trying to figure out how am I going to do this, because I could have just done it the normal way, like, just post it and leave and not do it. But, like, we got to have a signature. We got to have that oomph.
And here's the thing. It's not an insult to you.
No.
But because the animation quality is so shit, I think that's what makes it so good.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking that because, like I was saying earlier, animation's fucking tough. And, like, if you don't know what you're doing, you could really fuck it up. And I got this little app on my computer to do animation, and it's free, so it's kind of cheap. So when I was doing, like, the animation of it, it just froze on me while I was saving. So I just had to end up saying fuck it and redoing all over again on MS Paint. So all I did was just, like, these tiny little just like 1 or 2 drawings and just pasting them up on each other and do a little bit of zooming in and cropping out, and it worked. Like, I thought that was fine. That seemed like it was good. It was something that
it's very time consuming.
Very time consuming, but you know what? It's a signature of ours now. Like, that when someone sees, when our friends and people who listen to us see, like, the podcast have little animations to it, even though we're not the first ones to create animations when we talk, it's still like, oh, they can still recognize it as Ed and Martin podcast.
Yeah. I think we still have a small enough audience that we could lie and say we were the first ones to think of us. So, I think we should go that route for now.
You're right. You're right. When you're right, you're always right, Martin.
This is Ed's original idea. We're gonna
my original idea. We're gonna patent and copyright the shit out of anybody who else makes an animation for their podcasts.
For now,
because we need that money. We're struggling.
I don't think we're gonna get money from this podcast.
One can only hope. So, how was your Thanksgiving, buddy? Like, how was your whole week there?
It was good. I got Thursday and Friday off from work.
That's always a good thing.
It's nice because it's a pay time off. So they pay me like if I was there, but I wasn't there.
It was like a phantom Martin.
Yeah, there you go.
He's there. He's there, but he's really at home, chilling.
Yeah. No, it was nice though. We had Thanksgiving, the family.
Yeah.
I tried Black Friday shopping, and I think I'm just getting too old for it. Where I just can't stand the crowds.
No.
Which I couldn't stand to begin with, but now it's worse.
Oh.
Except
just more people in general, or?
Well, we went to Walmart on Thursday night, and that was surprisingly empty.
Really?
Like, there was no crowd. All the major deals were still in stock, so you could have gotten, that the PS4 or whatever TV you wanted.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there was no crowd at Walmart. So,
I mean, it's not surprising at the same time. It's still like it just leaves you in wow, what's going on?
Well, I think because this year, I saw it more on TV, but Walmart was doing a lot more online Black Friday sales.
Yeah. Especially
through their, like, Walmart app. So I think it kind of takes away from the crowd that shows up in person.
Yeah.
Because, you can do it on your phone.
Yeah.
But after that, we went to the mall. That's where it was fucking crowded.
That's where all the people started, because malls are more shopping areas now, and clothes are the thing.
Yeah, I mean, there even wasn't that much of a, like, good sale on anything, though.
Really?
I think it's kind of just name value that you say Black Friday and people are going to show up.
It's like, let's just say Black Friday, but we still keep the prices the same. They're like the retailers are like, a matter of fact, let's hike the prices up, maybe $1 or $2. They won't even notice. Their eyes are filled with so much Black Friday sale that it's not a sale. It's a hike in prices.
Well, see,
That's good business model.
most of the sales take place after you eat, so you're on that like that food. You're food drunk in a way, so you're just not thinking straight at that point.
So you're like food drunk Black Friday sales attitude, or the googly eyes of, oh, I'm full from that Panda Express at the food court. Let's fucking shop. And it's like, well, originally was a shirt for $35 is now $45.
Well, no, because you're not gonna eat Panda Express on Thanksgiving Day. I hope not.
I hope not, but it's sadly there are some people out there that just have nothing else.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's cool. I mean, good to hear that you went out and did stuff, or you had a good Thanksgiving, man.
Oh man, yeah, it was good. All the family gets to see and stuff. Then after that, the weekend came, and it's kind of I just stayed home.
Like just played some video games.
Yeah,
and chill.
I don't know. It's strange.
It's been the most dreary of week that I've seen in the city since last year.
Well, all this rain
in terms of weather, yes. Like I didn't expect it to be like this again. Last year we had rain like this, but it was like late December into January, and we were getting this kind of weather. This time last year it was nothing. It was all nice and sunny, and now it's just shit.
I mean, I enjoy the rain, so I don't mind it. But I imagine for you it's pretty bad because you live in the dirt.
Yeah, it gets muddy and it gets flooded, and like I go out and my fucking foot is like 2 inches into the sand, which is now mud.
Well, yeah, it turns your front yard and backyard into mud.
Turns it into slush. Just all slush. I try to go out there and pick weeds and shit, and just like my foot just sinks into the fucking slush, and I can't do anything about it. Just to go, oh fuck, it's all muddy and it's dirty, and I have to like use the hose and clean off my foot before you go in the house, because if you go into a Mexican parent's household with muddy feet, that's aching for trouble. You
basically just committed like a sin.
A cardinal sin.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to live beyond that if your parents catch you. Like, have you ever had that? Like when you're like you and your friends or your siblings come in fucking muddy shoes. Someone has muddy shoes.
Yeah.
Like someone didn't listen and they walked in a foot trail of muddy shoes. And now, like, your mom sees it, and you just hear her cuss up a storm.
Well, the thing is, it ends up being your fault because of your friend. So
right.
Like, you should have told him not to do that. You know?
Oh, my God. I've been there, dude. Like, so many times. And it's never their fault, of course, because they're the guest. No, mijo, it's not your fault. You should have told him. And you're grounded or something. Like, they take something away from you. You just get a scolding and more. You're lucky you don't get a whip in the ass, to be honest. Anyway.
So how was your Thanksgiving? Because I already told my Thanksgiving, so how was yours?
My Thanksgiving was, like, it was like half eventful, full eventful. Like, Thanksgiving, we had family over. We did the traditional turkey, ham. We had a few, like, we had my uncle over.
Are you more of a turkey guy or ham guy?
I'm more of a ham guy.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. Like that ham is just so fucking good.
Yeah.
I can go days eating that ham left over. The turkey, not so much. Like it just gets dry and it's just I can have it for one day and I'm good.
Although, the best Thanksgiving food and the most I think underrated.
What's that?
Mashed potatoes and gravy.
Mashed potatoes.
I can eat that forever.
Really?
Yeah. I
honestly,
love that stuff.
That's traditional. I get it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I could care less
about, I don't know.
Mashed potatoes and gravy. I've honestly.
I didn't quite.
Wow.
Could you please repeat it?
Who's this? Did you bring Siri in the conversation?
Her name is Siri. She's going back over here now.
You can't help yourself, can't you? With bringing in your phone into our conversations. It's part of the.
It's a new phone, so I'm still getting used to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you kept telling me about that whole 3 camera.
That
the
iPhone 11.
Yeah.
No, this is the 2 camera one.
Oh, so you couldn't.
Well, it's the
Couldn't
iPhone 11, just the normal one. The Pro is the one that has like
That's
the
the
three
three
cameras.
cameras.
Yeah. So you could make like a feature film on
So
that.
stupid.
Shoots in 4K.
So stupid. Yeah. So anyway, where was I? Like honestly, I've been akin to sweets now. Like my favorite part of the feast
Dessert.
is the dessert. It's just maybe it's an old age now or something. Like I'm more like people are bringing in more of the pies and the ice cream and maybe other baked goodies. You know, our heritage or our race, they like to bring in like those baked cochitos and like stuff that has like those that sweetened flour on it.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be the death of me, but I love that part. But yeah, like my Thanksgiving, it was good. Like I had family over, we talked, we had fun, we had our little fire going. My brothers were here, two of my brothers. The other brother, he's a firefighter, so he had to be on shift. But we were talking and shooting the shit. It was fun. It was fun catching up with them, and I think that's pretty much what it's about. Is your family, and then maybe someone who doesn't have family, they go to their friends. That's why I guess you got Friendsgiving, which I would like to have just to see what that's all about.
Are you directing this at a certain group of friends?
No, I am not. Don't read it too much into it. I'm just saying it would be cool to have maybe like a event of friends. It can be any friends, all friends invited who could make it, and we could just chill and have turkey together or whatever. 'Cause that'd be cool. It wouldn't be so awkward having, that aunt come over or that uncle and they say something that just makes you cringe, and it's like, oh god, and you have to bowl through it. You just
grab your plate and go to your room.
You could do that. You can alienate yourself and just be the one that makes it awkward. You're like, oh, where's little Eddie going? So yeah, like that's the case. We got a list here.
We have an agenda.
So yeah, that's cool. Glad everyone had we both had a nice little Thanksgiving break from shit.
Now we have Christmas coming up.
Now we got Christmas coming up. Did you already go? You're talking about you go. Did you find anything for your family or friends?
It's
While you went out
still a
shopping?
process.
Okay.
The tough thing is just having to figure out what to get them.
So you're still looking.
Yeah, I've gotten a few gifts here and there, but yeah, I'm probably gonna like scramble to like the last minute or so, trying to find stuff.
It's always last minute.
Yeah,
I feel like college did that to us. Like overall school, I don't know about you, but me, I feel like I'm always the type who gets shit done at the last minute, and now it's just become a part of me in terms of almost everyday life of things. Like that's not good at all. I'm not endorsing this, but whenever it comes to something, especially like getting Christmas gifts or something for a party, like drinks or dinner or like a certain thing that you're supposed to do, like in editing. I do it last minute.
Well, I think it may also be just something you learn from like your parents. So like my mom is a big last minute person. She does a lot of stuff last minute, and I feel like that kind of rubbed off on me growing up because I'm the same way as her.
Yeah.
So it may just be that too.
Possibly got those bad habits from parents too. That's probably another thing. Well, that's funny. It is what it is. But it's good that you're still finding. I mean, you still got what? Another 2 weeks?
Well, we're recording this on December 9th.
December 9th.
So give me a few minutes to do the math.
Okay, well, you got over a week.
Yeah.
To start
you
looking.
have time.
So you got time. Speaking of time, we're going to we're going to fulfill a promise that we made, and that is do commentary or do like a watch along of our past movies. What I didn't get to you, what I need to get to you about before we get to this movie is not just the movies I did, but also the movies you did where I wasn't involved, like such as what was your short films? Shoes?
The shoes?
Yes, we should do that.
Yeah, we'll go in the order that they were made.
Okay.
So that'll come on later.
Probably later.
Yeah.
And another movie that we have to get to because we didn't talk about the last episode was Spray. We worked on that together, in a way.
We talked about Spray last time, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
No, we did not talk about Spray.
Oh man.
Yeah, we have to watch Spray. We talked about Left in Black a lot in that one, and deservedly so. But Spray didn't get its due diligence, and I think we need to let everyone know that Spray was a thing that happened. And honestly, probably one of my most proudest feats so far because of how much fucking work and a headache that I had to endure making that thing. I had little to no equipment in terms of lighting and time to make that thing, and yet how it came out fucking blows my mind because it should have came out a lot worse than it did.
And it did pretty well, dude.
It's probably one of my better accolades because it got accepted and rewarded in some film festivals that happened in LA, which I couldn't make it to because I was also doing other films, short films. But yeah, that little weird fucker got into 2 LA film festivals and got a bronze award, which was 3rd place if you're counting. Still, it got a bronze award at an LA film festival. As no matter the size of the film festival, that's the first film that I've done that won something and got into something legitimate. So yeah, we gotta give that a little love here when we're watching these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, that'll probably be way down the line if we're going in order.
Yeah. Like right before Left in Black, not Left in Black, Unscrewed 2.
Unscrewed 2, yeah.
It was the right before Unscrewed. All right, so definitely. So just a little shout out to that. Shout out to the crew who did Spray, all 7 of you. And Aiden also helped out with that too.
Oh, he did Foley?
He did Foley. He did the sound effects for the alien.
Oh.
Yeah, it was dope. It was dope how he did it. I let his imagination run free in that. So, all right, I digress. So we're gonna get up to this.
So how's this gonna work? Are we gonna play it and they can watch it?
We're gonna watch it, and then we're just gonna talk about it. So let's do this. I'm gonna stop this part real quick, and we're gonna continue when I bring up the movie. Record again. Play.
Do you want to edit this onto the podcast?
Yeah, I'm gonna edit onto it. Is it running? Yep.
Testing.
All right.
The opening credits.
The opening credits.
So what's some backstory on this? I guess on how it started and stuff.
So hold on, let me learn. So my microphone's picking it up. It loud. So I forgot to do the synopsis on this thing. Okay. So yeah, pretty much the story is about 4 friends who just got out of a dance. We're just about to go to a dance. And one of their dates, one of the guys' girlfriend is found murdered. And they don't know what happened to her. So what you don't see is Zach originally had in the script of them finding her, and then they put her in well, yeah, it is in the movie. Yeah, that's right. They find her and they put her in the trunk, and they keep her there until they know what to do with her. And it's discussed over some coffee or whatnot and cake in a cafe, which my buddy Zach got permission to use because his dad was one of the managers there. So it was pretty cool. It was actually one of the stores in Glendale. It was one of those what do they call them, strip malls or outdoor malls. So right here you see the guy is walking in and backstabbing Jack. It's like this thing runs on 3 chapters. First chapter
This
is
is a fantastic venue.
them
Jordan.
talking about
Look at our options.
about
This is the worst one.
Well, there's still some questions that need to
about
be answered.
what's
How do we
going
even know
on.
Bailey didn't do
So
it?
this is your first time kind of being DP, huh?
My first time being DP. Now, fun fact, I wasn't here for this. None of the cafe scenes was I here because I wasn't even aware that this was going on. Yeah. So hold on, like there they are, they're talking, and here comes some cops. One, is wearing a security officer uniform. The other's another type of security officer. They're 2 completely different security officers that Zach asked to come in and scope them out, make them look
You guys got cake?
like they're suspicious.
I'll take a slice of chocolate cake.
Shout out to these guys: Jesse Callahan, Christopher Baker, Matt Wetzel, and Chris Ryan, for doing this and running with it.
You guys got
And they
that,
just
Sion?
liking the idea, liking the script. They were all
Kyle, let's say we
game.
get out of here.
We use
Especially
Kyle's car.
Matt here,
I'd like to help.
who's just
but using
he's
my
a theater
car is a bad
actor,
idea.
so
I have a
he likes to
It won't be too much longer.
Shit, I'll walk home if I
exude
have to.
the drama.
45-minute
So
drive
you
just
could
to
really
get
see it here.
So, have fun.
I'm hanging on my jacket.
So were you the editor for this one too?
I was the editor.
Oh, okay.
I was the editor. This was kind of a pain in the ass because Zach found this footage and he didn't like what was being shot, and he thought it was unsalvageable. And then I looked at the footage of the cafe scenes and I was like, yeah, this is definitely salvageable. I mean, some color correction, some grading,
No one knows
some
where we are.
restoring, and it turned out better than we thought.
I didn't tell him where we are, but I told Kayla we
This
were
is
leaving
Chris
the
Baker
dance.
here.
What the hell would you do
I
that
didn't want to
for?
act suspicious.
Obviously, we need to think of a plan and quick. Because Kyle's parents think
His
he's
name
in the
was
7th
Kyle.
grade.
He's playing like the
When does the dance
nerdy,
In
sheltered
about an hour.
boy.
That buys us some time before people start asking questions. I'm going to go call Mitch and see if anything's going on.
Then what?
We'll figure that out after I get the phone with Mitch.
Mitch never existed.
Kyle, you want to smoke?
Nah.
So this is your first time working with Zach, right?
Yes.
So how was that?
It was actually all right. Like nothing grand or major was being made. It was like these guys out in the dark
I think we can get away with this, right?
trying to figure out a way how to
Not
bury
after
this
you guys
girl. So
Put her in
he
your
just
trunk.
was like more focused
happen
on
how you
on the
think it happened.
actors and them trying to get their lines
the
right,
time
and
I
he
got
just
there,
let me be me.
she was still
Like he let
breathing.
me do my thing. He let
Not a
me
lot, but enough to
decide
give Bailey
how
what to save
to
her.
angle it, level it. I did DP on these right here. The exterior shots were me.
All these outdoor scenes?
Yeah. With the exception of them out in front of the cafe.
Kyle, get the blanket.
So, the actress is Selena Martinez, I think. She just was in my English class, and I was like, we needed someone to play a dead girl, and I was just asking around, and I saw her, very pretty girl, and I'm like, okay, she fits the what do you call it? The typical profile of
A dead girl?
of someone's dead girlfriend because of jealousy and murder. I just went by my guts and I just asked her, like, hey, did you do any acting or any theater? And she's like, I did acting in one thing. I'm like, would you mind
Another shoe.
doing this one thing that me and my friends are doing? Because, like, we have nobody. And so I gave her the script and she read it and she's like, oh, yeah, this is cool. This is up my alley. And she totally agreed to it. And she's just, I'm like, she's like, what do you want me to wear? And I'm like,
And now
well, I
we're
think
all
Zach told her, like, well, if you have like a prom dress, go for it. So she wore this prom dress that she had for like high school. She just
What I'm
put it
about to
on
say
and
is
we were like,
between me
okay,
and you,
just
all right?
lay there in the ground
Got your
dead.
keys on you?
And that was that.
Exactly 15
It was pretty
minutes, we're gonna
funny.
come back out here and act like we're gonna have another smoke. Except for next time you bring your keys.
Why?
This
Take
was
the
probably
body
one of my
back where you
favorite-
found her.
We can't do that.
favorite
Do you want to
scenes.
save your ass or not?
And what if we get caught putting the body back?
That's why we can't
loved
get
editing
Yeah,
caught.
and leave George and Bailey
This-
behind
this
too.
You
part.
shouldn't have killed his girlfriend.
You don't think he actually did that, do you?
Don't give me that shit.
So if you didn't DP these, who did that?
There was no DP.
Oh, it was just-
So the
I
DP,
don't want to believe it
I
anymore.
forgot his name, who
Crazy
originally
shit
was supposed to
has
do this
happened. Maybe
movie,
he didn't kill her.
left the
Let's
day
let
of
the
shooting
cops decide that.
Ooh.
for no apparent reason. Just didn't go on, like, was on set for like maybe a couple hours, left, never came back. I was like,
Wait,
what,
he
what
was-
the hell?
He was on set.
He was on set and then left. I don't know. Like Zach told me he said he had to do something and then that was the last I heard from him. Like there was no argument, not to my knowledge, or no
What are you trying to accomplish?
disagreements.
You
It
trying
was
to get
just
us
he
off
just left.
Trying to help Bailey. I'd expect him to
So
pressure me.
that
This doesn't fall
played
under
a
the
big
guy.
part in
So, you want me
his
to turn Bailey in?
Or go to jail.
his like I don't want to say meltdown, but he was getting pretty desperate and to the point to where like he was starting to lose hope and just
Well, I mean, we've had people cancel on us like a day or
a
two
lot.
before.
Dude,
But aren't
that's
they never on that date within like the starting time of shooting?
yeah.
You know?
It was bad. Like you
Tons of open forest.
in this field of work, you can kind of expect that to happen. People just
Being discussed.
You're a fucking
decide to
psycho.
like not do it or just say, "Oh, I can't make
Are you
it."
gonna listen to
But
this
to
shit?
leave the same day and you're a big important role of the movie, and like that's not cool.
Well, like
People also suck
when
dick
you're
all the
there,
time.
you leave
Start
though.
doing that,
Is like the big thing.
you know what?
Right.
It's like he already arrived. He was already working with you guys.
Yeah.
Prison.
And then he left.
Just an idea.
I wish you guys would think for one fucking second. What are her parents gonna do when she doesn't come home tonight?
Man. This lighting was kind of better than I expected too. I was like they put like
High
a
school girl goes missing on
a
her prom
diffusion
night.
over the
Something
headlight,
to ignore.
over the ceiling light, and
Else think this is too risky of an idea.
it worked out. It's like it created an ominous noir look. Hey, there's Kayleen McCann.
She's in a lot of movies, isn't she?
Started acting before she got into grip work.
Well, but I'm saying like in a bunch of what this one, Great Bambino.
Ray
That's her, right?
Bambino. Well, she was. I think she went to GCC for a bit, and she knew Zach Trussell, so he just asked her if she wanted to be part of
It's
this
not a good enough excuse.
these projects, and she was cool. She's so cool, and up for or whatever we had in mind,
Controlled decisions we make every day.
and
No
yeah,
making smoke.
shout out to her. She was really nice and cool to the people who made these movies. Turned out to be a good friend.
I have something to say. Let's pretend we do this and no one suspects anything. Then let's fast forward 8 years in the future. We're all living fat and we've got a family. Then someone decides to dig some.
So
shit up
how
because
much
they
of
wanna
this
go
is
to Chick-fil-A,
ADR
and then
and
they find that
100%
Then-
is ADR. So
Because these motherfuckers are good at their job.
the
Be
fucking
careful.
I don't know if they had a sound guy. I think they did have a sound guy.
Well, let's start here.
He
Does anybody
never
have a
gave
shovel? 'Cause
Zach
I'm
the
sure as
files.
hell not about to buy a shovel.
To this day, we don't even know where the files are at. The
audio files.
audio files. I don't know. I don't know who was. I think it was this guy named Donovan Simmons,
There's a lake 10 miles.
and
We can't rule
he
that
was the audio guy to
I don't
Left
believe
in
what
Black
I'm
for a little bit.
Wait, but
And-
float in water.
I forgot. I forgot. I don't remember mentioning to him. I may have mentioned to him,
Responsible?
She won't
and he's
float.
all
Tie
like,
something
"Oh
down.
yeah, 6s and 7s.
My guy's done with
Oh
that.
yeah, dude, I had the audio files. They were in my they were in my car the whole time. Well, I could have used that when I started editing this.
Wait, so he never gave you the
He never
audio files for this movie,
he never gave me the audio.
but
files
then
for
you
this
brought
movie.
him back for Left in Black.
Right? Yeah. So ass backwards, right?
What's it gonna be?
I gotta go to the bathroom.
This is the part where he's feeling the pressure.
Ring around her neck.
Yeah. Second chapter when our buddy looks in the trunk and finds that she was actually murdered. This part, I don't know why we edited it in. Maybe just brought some levity. It's fucking awkward. But whatever. So this part, watch Matt. Just watch him when he throws away the napkin or the paper towel and the trash can, he gets this sudden burst of joy because of the many amounts of takes he missed. In this one, he makes it, and he he pretty much does break character. What, right here?
I mean, I would like to know.
How many takes did that take?
Dude, like for what I heard, it was like a plus 30 takes
Just to make it in the trash
just
can?
to make it in the trash can, and he makes it, and like he just wanted to laugh real hard,
Did you make up your mind yet?
and his eyes just grow real wide because he thought he was gonna laugh, or he thought Ryan was gonna laugh.
What if there's a way we could get her to the hospital and have nobody suspect us of murdering her?
As her boyfriend, they're gonna question you regardless.
I know, but I mean, all I need is a strong alibi.
I don't know, Bailey.
Yeah, we were
You've
in
really been a good liar.
the ADR room
Okay, if I practice the story
for
enough,
almost
then they won't think
12
that I-
hours straight. Like we went to this guy named
That's not too bad of an idea.
forgot his name. He was
Jeff Southwick.
not Jeff Southwick. Before I met Jeff Southwick, there was this other audio guy that we went to.
But not until we find
Went to his
out
apartment.
how to get
Aiden Adair.
Not Aiden Adair either, unfortunately.
Feel out?
I don't even know where this guy's at no more. Like he's in Vegas. The last I heard from him, but we went to his place. All four of them came. They each did the entire movie each
You
individually,
guys remember that couple
one by
that got
one,
mauled by that
because it was just one microphone
Yeah, that was
in
like
his
10
in
years
his
ago.
apartment.
Yeah, but it happened in
So
the same area
we each
too.
had to replay this
And
movie
last time I checked, bears don't
4
exist.
times straight,
if it were a bear,
not counting the multiple takes we had to redo
All
because
right,
how they
so
fucked
Winnie
up
the
their
Pooh and
lines.
pals trampled her to death.
We were there from at least
And if
10
we
in the
asked why she was
morning
in the
to
trunk,
12 at
He
night.
was trying to save her life.
12 midnight.
I mean, after all that
It
he's
was
trying to do.
fucking excruciating, and I will never want to experience that kind of thing ever again. It was just so fucking torturing because it was a small apartment. We were just chilling in there, having them do their lines, and it just started getting. It was like March or April. It was starting to get warm.
You better hope she
The
doesn't
dude
have
had bad AC. We had to keep the windows open, and it was not working. It was getting stuffy.
Wasn't
and
the
musky
proper
in
like
there.
environment for recording ADR?
so
It wasn't really the proper environment. It was it was really bad environment. It was just one of those like those makeshift do your DIY studios in your apartment. But that's all we had. Oh, this is the part where he goes out and checks the trunk. Like that quick transition there where he just goes to the trunk and just is right there behind it.
Just
Great editing there.
teleported.
Flashback to where he finds the female. What's her name? I think her name. I forgot her name. Oh, there she is.
It'll probably be in like the credits.
Yeah, it'll be in the credits. You see her. She's supposed to be dead, but you see her breathing. that was embarrassing.
So who did like the makeup on this?
We did. Zach had to put makeup on her. Fun fact, that wasn't her screaming. That was just some Foley that I found on Audio Jungle.
I was gonna say.
Me and Zach are so fucking proud of just that one single shot. Because we ourselves dug that fucking hole for like 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Right beside my house.
Oh man.
And left the shovels there and then popped open the hose to make it look like rain. And then we obviously turned the car lights on to make it look like there's a car there. And just hit record. And just left that. Because we spent like fucking... We were hurting our backs just trying to make a makeshift grave. And we didn't even like get all the way to the 6 feet. Fuck no, that was going to kill us.
I don't think you need to get that deep. Right?
No, you don't. But like we got to 3 feet. We were just like, this is good enough. Let's fucking do this.
I just
We started like midday, dude, and it was almost midnight when we were almost done. So out of shape.
I just imagine your parents like looking out like the front window and just see you guys digging this grave. So what the hell are they doing out there?
Yeah, that was pretty much them. My dad was looking out at us like looking at us like we're nuts. We're like, this is for a purpose. Trust us.
What's our choices?
Go to the police, or
Oh man.
you know.
Yeah, what's your guys' odd options here? And then they go to a vote. Yeah, hang
This
up
is how
the
we're gonna do it. Put next to
random
anyone who's
business
close to
note.
fight, put an O if you think we should take her to the police. You got that?
that shot, that front shot towards Matt there. I had a fucking layer like dark spots. I don't know if you can still see right there on his side. That's Zach right there, the reflection of Zach standing right behind the camera. The camera operators was one of the camera operators was Anime Lopez. Lopez? Is that her? I think I butchered it.
X.
I think that's her last name.
It's
She was
possible.
supposed to shoot Unscrewed, but she never
Say
got
with
to it.
us or not, Jack.
And then Jordan Sparborough.
Be able to live with
Yeah, I know Jordan.
So they both actually were
you
the
know the
camera
car,
operators
Oh, okay.
on this movie, which was pretty dope. Like, we go like we go way back.
I'll be in the car.
I love this beautiful stabilization here as we punch in using editing. As you can see, the resolution go really bad.
Thank you. You all right?
Big reveal. Oh, didn't see that shit coming, didn't you? That's right. Jesse's the fucking killer. Whose blood spot right there was actually Louisiana's finest hot sauce. Sprayed all over his shirt.
You guys just grabbed a bottle of hot sauce.
Just bottle of hot sauce. Yeah, so that was that. Hey. Oh yeah, Kevin Hornsby, the guy who I had an argument with, was the producer of this. That's right.
You had an argument with?
That's a long story. We'll get into it here in a bit.
Oh, okay. I want to hear this one.
Um,
Who did the music for this? It was just
it was
stock
again,
footage.
yeah. Audio Jungle.
Oh, okay.
Not copyright, but I licensed the music. I had to pay $50 for this. Add in a little sound effects. Missed her name. I maybe missed the fucking credits. But yeah, Anime Lopez was one of the camera operators, and so was Jordan. And this was actually the first sight of Ben Ortega.
Oh, Ben
You
Ortega
didn't
pops
see it?
up
Yeah,
this
you didn't
movie?
see it? Yeah.
No,
Ben Ortega's first appearance was in this as one of the camera
yeah,
assistants.
that guy's a myth and a legend around.
Shout out to Ben
around the
fucking
group.
Ortega, the legend himself, who's been with us since day one.
Well, the guy's so talented. He does so many things.
So goddamn
I
talented.
think he's been camera op. He's been sound editor.
He was
He's
colorist.
colorist.
Recently.
He does a little bit of everything.
He does a little bit of everything. I wish I was that guy. I'm not gonna lie. I really wish I was as talented and fucking cool as him.
I just wish I could meet the guy.
He gets all the ladies. I heard, all the ladies, and here I am just sitting by myself, just lonely as fuck.
I think we should get Ben Ortega on this podcast.
We should get Ben Ortega on this podcast if I can reach out to him because he's so busy. He's such a popular guy.
I think that he's in Mexico now.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, so that was fucking 6 and 7s. Like, yeah, that's all it was to it. So there was a lot behind I couldn't get to. Like, there was a lot going on there, which I couldn't.
Well, what was the biggest
Get to-
challenge you faced on this one?
Biggest challenge actually was the editing. Was the editing and sound because A, there was none, and B, it was like my first time not just editing a full, not a full length, but like an actual legit short film, and also having to edit the audio at the same time. I had no audio guy to help me edit and fix things.
So it was just kind of your overall first time. Hey,
My
I gotta
overall
edit this.
first all doing everything.
Because before you, in terms of editing, you did your YouTube videos.
Yeah, pretty much like small clips of, hey, this is a sample size of what I'm capable of. It was pretty much most of my YouTube clips before this were almost kind of more just like self proof that I can do this.
Homemade videos.
Homemade videos.
Which if if you could just edit it and play on this podcast, that'd be greatly
I'll do
appreciated.
that. Well, as we're talking, I'll just put up the fucking highlights of
You should play my favorite one. Which
What's that?
I don't know if you know which one is my favorite one, so
What's
I'm gonna
that? What's your favorite one?
take a guess because it's a pretty old one.
A pretty old one. That's on my YouTube
It's on
channel.
your YouTube channel. It's my favorite video I've ever seen.
Oh man. like, is it the one of the oldest or moderately old or?
Oh, this is
on,
super old, man.
I have like videos that are like almost 7 years old.
I'm pretty sure this is like one of your first ones.
Oh my fucking god!
But it's my absolute favorite one.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it was the Final Fantasy battle.
Where you fight
Where
the
I
couch.
fight the couch.
Yeah. So if you can play that, dude.
I'm fucking peeking the mic with my laugh right now because of that shit. Oh, that's hilarious.
That's my favorite video. I think
Not
I've ever
surprised. Why am I not surprised that that's one of your fucking favorite ones?
Like
dude?
it's what was that? This is old. Like it's not even like HD, was it? No,
Dude, it was SD.
It was like just
480p.
like standard death. Just you're fighting this couch.
It was on this good old fashioned Sony camera shot. Like one of the handhelds. Camcorder, yeah. Took old school Sony SD cards. It's not even working. Took even small DVDs on there. Yeah, dude, that was my first camera that I used ever. Well, not ever, but I had older ones, but those ones broke and I had to throw them away. But this was the one that I bought afterwards. Yeah, it was pretty fucking funny. But yeah, it was one of my firsts, and so I had to do audio cleaning and cleaning up the visuals, and we went through multiple cuts. Like Zach would come over and he would look over the cut and he would like, make it this, no, I'll change it back to that. And it was one of his first times, like him actually
and like at
control.
That point, you still haven't developed that relationship with Zach of knowing what he likes and what he doesn't like.
Like this was our first time developing chemistry between creators, like between a director and editor and DP at the same time. Like we're amateurs, so there's no legit specific role. It's just we made this thing because this was a good idea, and I just took on the job of help editing this because Zach wasn't gonna fucking do it because he was too lazy and he didn't want to bother with it. I should have that motherfucker pay me now. Anyway,
wait, he hasn't.
He hasn't paid me. He hasn't paid me one bit.
Was it a paid gig?
He's using my... No, none of these were paid gigs. Are you kidding me? I wish they were, but we had to put in the money, obviously, towards the project. And any money that we could ish out would go to the project itself. I specifically rented the T6i for this movie. I didn't have the T6s yet. I had to rent it first before I bought it just to see if it was good or not. So, yeah, this movie was the start of it all. And I don't know, like it was a beginning of something that like wasn't perfect. Our relationships wasn't perfect in terms of like editing and communications, but through time we developed, like you said, we developed that chemistry and developed knowing what our nuances is or what makes us tick in terms of making these movies. And still to this day, it's not perfect. Like we still get into tiny little bitchy arguments and sometimes big ass arguments. But
I think you'll see the improvements as you watch the rest of these.
Yeah.
So, from this one to The Great Bambino and Left in Black and all that, Spray,
Definitely.
I think you see improvement in everything. Like in every asset of filmmaking.
Yeah. You definitely start seeing an improvement. And I think, like I'm going to say, Spray is kind of the accumulation of that. When we did it, it was kind of like, wow, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And then after Spray, Zach had wrote a script called Aversion Therapy. And then he asked Casey to direct it and maybe do a rewrite. So that's when those two started writing. And then, so everything started to accumulate. All the hard work started with this movie. And it ended up being all those other movies, Aversion Therapy and Spray. And unscrewed it in a way because I had learned some methods and shit from the previous movies, like these movies.
Well, that was probably one of the bigger casts we worked with, right?
Yeah, definitely one of the biggest casts we worked with. But yeah, man, that was a 6s and 7s. It was.
So is this like the first one that's like Zach goes out on his own, without any backing from, like a school project. Like, this isn't a school project. This is
No, it's not a school
it's just
project.
him on his own.
It was just him doing his own thing.
Because after that, everybody else kind of, hey, we're going on our own and doing this.
Yeah, it's too bad he isn't here so he can talk about it. But yeah, like from what he would tell me, it was from the start of like a film group. After like their classes, they had a group there at GCC, and Zach was feeling like if some people can start making these movies, then I can make these movies too. Because he started watching movies of some classmates, and he didn't really like them, and he thought they were really bad. So of course he had that mindset, like saying, oh well, if these guys can make movies, then so can I, and
I can do it better.
And I can do it better. Exactly. That's exactly how he felt. And so he went on to do this, and it was, little did he know, it was gonna present a huge challenge just getting the thing started. And yeah, and that became 6s and 7s, like, and so getting to the DP, he showed up for that one day, and what Zach was telling me is he just left. So he made that half of where it was just a cafe, but he hadn't yet completed the other half where they're outside and they're trying to put her in the trunk when they find her. So he was at first going to nix the project altogether, just because the DP left. He had no editor yet, and he didn't know if he was going to get anybody else to shoot, because those cameras weren't his. They were someone else's. They were, what's his name? They were Kevin Hornsby. And he didn't know if he could get Kevin on board again to help him out. So he was really at a really hard place, like at what they call it, between a rock and a hard place.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. He was really just gonna give up. Like, he was in a state of turmoil, and that's when I came in. So little Eddie Rios here, who was his classmate for I believe reading. No, I think it was English class. Fucking GC classes. I don't remember. College. Ha! I was a classmate of his the semester before, and I was at myself in a really shitty place because I had failed my math class. I had failed it, and I knew I wasn't going to make it. Like, I was at the precipice of just walking out, just like quitting and dropping out of school altogether. And I head out to do this last piece of homework for another class, and there I see him. And it was at the high tech class with all the computers. And he was just there working on his shit, and I was like, oh, hey, there's Zach. Let's just go say hi. So I go to say hi to him, and then he was like, we were catching up, saying how things were, and he was telling me like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to finish up this movie, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I'm gonna actually probably just take all the footage and delete it and just try to move on doing something else or do something else entirely. And I'm like, wait a minute, you make movies? I never like saw you as a fucking filmmaker. Like, I never saw you that. Like, I thought you were just some tall dude who was a jock and just smoked weed. Like yeah, so much I know. that was horrible. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm trying to fucking get into movies too. Who would have thunk? Like, we would never, over the last semester, got into a conversation asking what our green dreams and aspirations was, because we were never those type of guys to do that. We don't talk deep. We just say, hey, what up? This shit sucks. Hey, I know. What do you got for work? This. And I'm like, all right, cool. And that was that with him. He's like, I'm going to go smoke a bowl and get out of here. I'm like, oh, all right, you do you, bro. And here I am now a year later, and he's just here telling me he wants to fucking make films. And I'm like, dude, I want to do that too. And I'm trying specifically to be a director of photography, cinematography. And he's like, oh, okay, well, my cinematographer walked out on me on day one. And I have nothing else. I have no equipment. I have no editing software. I can't edit. And there's all this footage here that's just collecting dust, and I might not even do it anymore. I hear him out, and I'm like, well, first of all, you're in luck, my friend, because I just happen to have an editing software and editing software.
Would you have at the time?
Vegas.
Oh, okay. So you still have Vegas.
Not Vegas Pro. Not Vegas Pro. Vegas Studio. Vegas Studio. The amateur version. The cheap. The version that comes after Movie Maker. After Windows Movie Maker.
I think you should have just stayed on Windows Movie Maker.
Windows Movie Maker.
Done the whole movie on there.
Still the same? Yeah, I should have. But you know what? I decided, no, let's just go with Vegas. That's when it was still Sony Vegas. But it was an editor. So I was like, fuck it. Why not? And he's like, okay, well, if you want to, go ahead and see what you can make of it. Here's the script so you can put it in order and we'll see what goes. So I got a week to fuck with this stuff. I put it together, showed it to him, and he was actually impressed. He wasn't as in a dark place anymore. He actually had some hope, some hope of a light of hope in him that maybe we could finish this. And I'm the one who's like, yeah, dude, let's keep doing this. I'll be your DP because that's what I want to be anyway. And he's like, well, let's see what we can do. I was like, well, give me about like a couple $100 if you got any, and I'll rent out this camera and we'll finish it up. And we did that. We scheduled in all the actors to get back in to. I mean, lucky they still all had their fucking suits because I thought they were just going to throw them away because I thought they were rented. But they all had those suits still. And we finished up and I brought in Selena. And everyone just was a fucking... It was like they were all troops. They were all soldiers because it was December of 2015.
Oh, this is during like the winter.
It was cold as fuck. She was wearing that tiny dress that was like from high school, and they had to put her in the trunk of the car, and that was that. Like, we finished and wrapped up, and then we had the rest of the movie, kind of like how you and Alex had that extra footage that we had to get of Tiffany and Bruce.
Yeah.
So that was the same elation, the same feeling, like, oh my god, we actually have a fucking complete movie that we can work with now.
So like, was this like premiered anywhere? You know, the film bar, is it done anywhere?
So we try to submit it to like the big boys, which was the stupidest fucking thing. We're talking TIFF, the Sundance, Slam Dance, fucking everywhere, New York film. We try to give it, like, we were looking too big, like he was looking too big, and it got nowhere. Like, we even tried submitting to the Phoenix Film Festival, obviously, and that didn't take. But it got into the film bar, what do they call it? The Filmmakers Fest. It got into the film bar.
Yeah, the film bar.
And yeah, everyone watched it. It was I think it was the first or second movie to show. And this actually has a connection to Left in Black because obviously the best movie was last, and the best movie was this movie called Remnants. I forgot who it was directed by, but it starred Carly O'Hearn, and she ended up being one of the main acts in Left in Black. That's how Zach found her, and he's like, "Yo, what's her name?" And I was like, "Look up the movie."
Just wait till like the credits roll.
Yeah, just wait till the credits, like, because when we were in the production of doing Left in Black, he was like, yo, what's that girl who was that movie Remnants that we saw at the film bar? I'm like, I don't know. There was like 4 of them. And he was like, no, the one who was possessed. And I was like, look up Remnants. And fortunately it was on, I think, Vimeo. And we saw the credits and I'm like, oh yeah, that's her name. Get her on board, like, talk to her. And I think he just recruited her. He didn't have her audition. He's just like, I want you in this movie, please be part of it. And she agreed. The thing I learned most about actors is even though some of them don't show up, the ones that do, are the fucking loyal to 100% and will do what you need them to do or what you want them to do for the movie. She was really cool, dude. Like, she was really fucking nice. And yeah, we paired her up with Adam King, which is a whole other story later on.
This is a different movie here.
Different movie altogether, so I need to wrap that up. Yeah, dude. But this movie was the start of it. It was a snowball effect. It was the chain reaction to everything else that was about to go down in the next few years.
So wait, so does watching it now change over time? So like, compared to when you first saw it, and then maybe like a couple years later, and then now, does your opinion change on it? Like, oh shit, this is actually better than I thought.
No,
Or maybe you know.
because I mean I've seen it enough times to have a final collection on it, and this is what we'll get to our next, the reviews. Like, first of all, like, yeah, like, what do you think of it? What did you think of it? I'll get to your question later, but what did you think of this movie?
I think for the first one, kind of you guys doing it's kind of impressive, especially if like the backstory of this crew kind of fell apart with the DP leaving and stuff.
Yeah.
You can salvage it and make something out of nothing.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's impressive. ADR sounded like it was just a horrible experience for you. But, even more impressive that you kind of went through that and was able to make a movie out of it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like, it was definitely amateur, and you could see it. But from all the pieces that were shifting and moving, yeah, it was impressive. Now that when I think back on it, like, wow, like, we were literally fumbling during the whole process. And I guess that's the lesson to learn, is when you start shit off, it's not going to be all perfect. It's going to be anything but perfect.
Unless you're Ben Ortega.
Unless you're Ben Ortega.
Because he always starts off on the right foot.
He's perfect in every way. That's why he's there. That's why I got him to do these things. Because I know of all the variables in making this film, he's the one constant.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway, getting to your question, like, yeah, like, looking back on it, like, no, like, because I've seen this movie enough times to where I can make a final grade or a final opinion on it, and that's, we started it's not good, but it's got its charm because it was our first movie. It has an importance. It's what helped me boost my confidence to say, look, this wasn't the greatest, but it's getting on the right foot. So I did something, so I'm going somewhere at least. It may not be it may be in the middle of the fucking desert and there's nothing around, there's no water being like, making it big. But at least it's something. And that's its importance to me. And overall, if I had to like give it a grade, it's probably a C to a D of a movie, of a short film. It's not the greatest short film. I mean, let's be honest, like, some of the acting, the ADR didn't help out the fact that didn't help the acting at all. We did our best. And like that, obviously, because those guys, they weren't professional actors. One of them, out of all of them, wanted to be like a full-fledged legit actor, and he was trying to pursue
one of them was theater kid.
One of them was a theater kid, so theater and movies are completely different. But I mean, the fact that because his character was already outraged and in panic kind of helped out, because I mean, that's, when you're in theater, you're trained to speak real loud and have your lungs, have all the air in your lungs, and act out because you're acting in front of an audience on a stage. And that had kind of worked in his favor for the character, but still overall it was like, acting was mediocre, as it was expected, because it's a short film. There are a lot better short films out there when this thing came out, but it was something, and that ending twist kind of helped out. We got some oohs and ahs, but overall it was all right. It wasn't the greatest of my short films, but it was something, and it's not like I don't like it. It's a special place in my heart because it's the one of the first. It's the first,
the original,
and that was that. Yeah, so so that was a cool experience. So definitely we got to do more of these, like, for sure. Like, every.
So next one would be
Great Bambino, right?
Great Bambino.
Okay, when did you make shoes?
Spring of 2018.
Oh wow, yeah, Great Bambino.
Yeah.
Great Bambino was summer of 2016.
Yeah, so it'd be this Great Bambino. Left in Black would be after that.
Left in Black. Yeah, Left in Black was made January of 2017.
And then Unscrewed.
And then Unscrewed and then
And
spray.
No, and then it would be shoes.
Shoes,
And then spray and then unscrew too.
Then unscrewed too. Wow, so we still got some things to do, man.
Hey.
I think we should definitely make this like once a month. Just put those fuckers out. Unless you want to do them sooner.
No, I don't. Once a month sounds fine.
Yeah?
I don't want to blow through them all like right away. And
Right.
It's like, oh, okay.
You gotta savor them.
Now we're done with it, you know?
Yeah, gotta savor them like fine wine.
Oh, God.
That's actually that's a good fucking analogy for these movies. At least, especially this one, because fine wine or champagne, when you drink it, it's got that sour fucking taste in your mouth, right? It's sour, it's bitter, but it's fine at the same time. It's got its moujor or its charm, its grace. Even though it tastes like shit and you want to spit it out, it's wine. You can't. It's old. I don't know where I'm going with this, but but you know what I'm saying? Like that, it's to me that's the best way I can explain 6s and 7s is it's kind of like fine wine, for me personally.
So I think we should preview the next time we're doing one of these podcasts.
We should preview. What do we got next?
Well,
What
is it confirmed? Right, he's gonna be here.
It's confirmed. Oh yeah, it's confirmed later on this week. We are interviewing. Or we're doing one of our first interviews on this podcast.
Wait, interview, or are you just gonna be on here?
He's just gonna be on here. It's
Okay.
actually not an interview.
So it's a pretty big show.
So he's guest starring.
The guest star of Survivor.
The guest star of an upcoming Survivor series. The director of the second Unscrewed saga.
The writer of the entire.
The
Unscrewed
writer
saga?
of the entire Unscrewed saga. We gotta get into that with him.
He was in a Left in Black.
Left in us a starring, not a starring role. Left in Black.
Well, no, he was like a part of the crew.
Oh, he was the second. He was the second AC of Left in Black. Yeah, so part of the crew of Left in Black. My bad. A cameo role in the first Unscrewed. That's what I was trying to get at. He was a cameo role. Yeah, he was the waiter. Yeah, he was the waiter.
He was the waiter.
So a great waiter, by the way. He delivered that waiter role pretty fucking well. Everybody laughed at that.
He said his lines very good.
Very well said lines. Good dialogue.
Good dialogue. Very good on-screen presence.
Very on screen.
I could feel his emotions.
We haven't even yet said his name. We're just all trying our best to avoid saying his name.
We're trying to like hype him up.
I'm trying to hype him up, trying to give you a clue as to who it is. It's the one and only Alex Setzer Han. Han. Yeah, Alex Setzer is gonna be coming aboard for the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So get your cojones ready for an episode.
Should we have some sort of like filter or something? Because I'm sure we don't usually drop curse words, but I'm gonna figure out that.
Fuck that. Hell no. no filters at all.
All right.
Like, let this dude go off. I can't wait to have this. This is probably one of the best episodes yet for us. Is Alex?
Especially if he's drunk.
We gotta get him drunk. We gotta get him pre-gamed for the next one. Watch him not come on at all next time. Watch him like cancel it out. That would be such a fucking bad move. Oh man, that would be a tease. That'd be hilarious though. But yeah, we got through it all, man. That was fun. I love doing this again.
Yeah,
So continue on.
Next time he'll be here, and we'll kind of just shoot the breeze, just talk about whatever.
Yeah, I definitely got to make notes because there's so much that this kid and we can talk about with him.
I think you just give him a microphone for the whole hour,
right, and just not talk.
Just let him ramble.
Like, I definitely got to make notes of what it is we should talk about because we could go on for hours.
I need to ask him what the best Star Wars movie is.
Do that.
I need to ask him what the worst Star Wars movie is.
Do that. Ask him at all. What's the best movie? Period.
I need to ask him what he thought of Game of Thrones.
Yes, he's a big fan of Game of Thrones. I think he'll enjoy that question immensely. He'll scream with giddiness of you ask him all these questions of his favorite pop culture. definitely talk to him about it, man. I would love to hear it. So yeah, that is. Wait a minute. Was I talking like this? Yeah, I was talking like this, and the microphone wasn't picking it up much. Anyway, yeah, man. That's the podcast.
Yeah, it kind of wraps it up.
That wraps it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed watching this this piece of Americana with us.
Do you have any outro music for this episode?
Fuck. We do, and it's playing right now. It may be something familiar, it may not, but you'll know.
You'll know what it is.
You'll know what it is. Yep. Where us it's just silence, but for the people they're hearing it right now. Anyways, this has been Peaks and Valleys podcast number 2. I'm Ed Rios, and
my name is Martin Aguero, and thank you to our 5 listeners, right?
Thank you to all 5 of our listeners,
subscribers, all that stuff.
Like and subscribe.
Where can people find the Peaks and Valley podcast?
You can find the Peaks and Valley podcast on youtube.com/Peaks and Valleys podcast. And you can also find us on SoundCloud at Peaks and Valleys podcast. I'll leave a link below, and I'm pretty sure I'll be reposting nonstop. You can also hit us up on Peaks and Valleys podcast Twitter, as it's Peaks and Valleys podcast. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
We have a Twitter.
We do have a Twitter account.
Oh, okay.
You
awesome.
didn't know that?
No. You can follow us on Twitter too.
All right, people. Peace out. Thanks for listening. That's fucking hilarious.